Hello and welcome to the Ice Guys, brought to you by the National Hockey Now Network. This is the show that takes you into the world of the National Hockey League. Every game, every day, from a betting perspective. With pro sports handicappers, Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, and various guests from the world of hockey and sports betting. And now, here's your host, Ian Cameron.
Welcome to the Ice Guys, presented by National Hockey Now. Monday, May 29th, Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, and we've got another great special guest joining us today, Charlie Sauro, on the show, pro hockey player playing over in Germany this past season. I want to say, first of all, happy Memorial Day to everyone south of the border in the United States. It's a holiday. I'm rocking, as you know, the Stars and Stripes. This is the shirt I wear I think the last couple of years on this show, on Memorial Day and July 4th, if we do a show around that time, I've got the American flag shirt on. So there we go. And it's my way of saying, paying tribute to those in the States, because I got a lot of friends south of the border, including my colleague here, Alex, who I've done this show with for years. We wish everyone there a happy Memorial Day. And we wish, the servicemen and women, that allow us to talk shit on a sports betting show and a hockey betting show. They're the people that make it possible. They fight for our freedoms. They make it possible for us to talk hockey, Charlie to play hockey, and us to do the stuff we want to do day in, day out, 365 days a year. So to the fallen troops in the past, rest in peace, and we thank them for everything they've done and paying the ultimate sacrifice, and also the current men and women as well for serving not only in the U.S. but abroad and everything they do. Alex, Memorial Day, it's important to acknowledge that. I mean, we should acknowledge that more often than we do, but we can at least take a minute to do that on Memorial Day.
Absolutely, like that's what the holiday is all about, and everybody's picking out and partying and so forth. But you have to remember what this weekend is truly about. Like I said, all the men and women, those brave souls that lost their lives fighting for the country, and like I said, it deserves to be honored and recognized and never forgotten.
And hopefully no more wars in the field. I'm skeptical of that, but you can always hold out hope that things will be better. The show is better because we've got another great guest with us here today, Charlie Sauro. Charlie, welcome to the Ice Guys show. How are things with you?
Hey guys, things are pretty good. Busy summer up to now, but like I said earlier, I'm pretty glad to be back home, and it's been busy though. Yeah.
And you said you're in the middle of a move right now. You're moving to a new place at the moment here in your offices. You're back in Canada now, the Ottawa area, and I can imagine how busy that is keeping you right now over the summer months. But let's talk about the hockey journey for you, Charlie. Obviously, I remember when you played here in Ontario in the Sarnia Sting in the Ontario Hockey League. I remember that because I watched junior hockey year in. I'm watching the Memorial Cup right now. I try to watch as much hockey as possible, AHL, ECHL. I watched Newfoundland Growlers and Florida Everblades. I needed a hockey fix yesterday. That gave it to me. Newfoundland and Florida in the conference finals of the ECHL. Found it on my television, that game, and I watched it. I was into it. I watch as much hockey as I can, European hockey. So talk about your hockey journey and plus where you played this past season. DEL2, German Second League, Ravensburg Tower Stars. How cool of a name is that?
Yeah, like you said, started off in the OHL in Ontario. I started off actually in Kingston.
Charlie, I got to interrupt you for a second. I hear your audio's not cutting in and out, but it's a little warbly. So, exit the studio and come back in, and that should fix it. And also unplug your earbuds as well. That might fix it as well. Good stuff. All right, there we go. Hey, not live television, but live show, folks. Sometimes
gotta work those things out.
Definitely, I got to work those things out. But Alex, as we wait for Charlie to get back here, just thoughts quickly on another great betcast Saturday night. We thank everyone for joining us. It was an entertaining hockey game, and the Dallas Stars survived to live for another day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just crazy to see this run happening right now. It's such a tough series to call, but it was a lot of fun. Did cash some bets as well, so that's always great when we're having a good time and being profitable. It makes it even more enjoyable. So definitely another fun betcast for sure.
All right, we got our guest back, Charlie. Let's see how you sound now.
Sound good.
Oh, you're muted now.
No audio.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just checking it. He's not got his mic muted. Check your settings at the bottom and click on audio, and we'll see what your mic setting is right now. And that might do the trick because right now because his mic was not muted when we couldn't hear him a moment ago. So there you go. Hey, it does happen every now and then. Yeah. The beauty of technology. Yeah. How about now? No, we still can't hear him. God damn it. What's happening here? All right. I'll just check your settings and check the audio portion of it and see if we've got the right microphone here. And we'll see.
Yeah.
We heard you a second ago. Yeah. So it was definitely good there for a moment. Yeah. Check your audio settings and just make sure you've got the right microphone, whatever it is, because whatever you're using to for your microphone, which your microphone was good right at the beginning. Then the show started and it was warbly, but we will clear that up. But Charlie will check on that. There, we got you. Yep. Keep going.
Is it better or is it echoey?
Perfect.
No, it's good. That's good.
Perfect.
Okay.
Don't move. Freeze. You're under arrest. No, I'm kidding. You're not under arrest. Yeah, freeze because it's perfect. There you go. All right, Charlie, continue. Talk about the Charlie Sauro hockey life that it's been in the last several years.
Yeah, so like I said, I started off in Sarnia in the OHL. I got drafted there out of Toronto, originally from Ottawa, but I was lucky enough that my parents let me move to Toronto because there wasn't much exposure in Ottawa at the time. We only had AA hockey. We didn't have any AAA. So my parents let me move into my grandparents' place in Toronto. And I got drafted there, like I said, to Kingston. Played 3 years there. First 3 years were a little shaky for me. I was kind of a late bloomer. And then I got traded to Sarnia, and that's where things kind of unraveled for me to have a chance at pro hockey, basically. That year was the year that Alex Galchenyuk tore his ACL in the OHL. And my coach came up to me, and I was, in a fourth year, guys, and he was like, came up to me. He's like, "Hey, like, what are we gonna do here? Like, do we get another center to play with Yakupov, or can you get the job done?" And I was like, "Well, give me a chance and let's see what happens, right?" So
better than not giving you a chance. Like, throw me in there, coach. See what the fuck I can do, and
exactly.
Give it a shot. Yeah.
I hadn't really gotten off the third or fourth line for those first 3 years. So I was like, well, give me a chance at it, playing with some good players. So maybe we can make some magic happen. And then that year kind of was a breakout year for me. I put up, I think, 87 points and ended up going to the Toronto Maple Leafs development camp. And I had a pretty good camp. I remember sitting in there and they told me, like, yeah, you had a good camp and you had a good year, but we want to know if it was luck or just, kind of like something like that. So I was like, all right, well, then, let's see what I can do next year. And the next year after that, I was playing with Reed Boucher, who's played also in the NHL and I think is over in Europe now. So we put up some good numbers. I think Bush had beat Stamkos's numbers, and I put up 108 points that year, and then ended up signing with the Ducks on an entry level. So that was some pretty exciting stuff, and kind of like I said, good for a late bloomer story for those guys who don't end up panning out in the first 3 years. Sometimes it's not ready to throw the towel in yet. So that was good. And then played 2.5 years in the American League with Anaheim. Ended up playing asking for a trade. Things weren't really going the way I wanted them to, and I went to Utah and put up some decent numbers there and talked to a couple guys, and they were like, the way you play your game and with the ice down in Europe, you should definitely try to make your way out there, try to get create some more space and time for you so you can make plays and stuff. So also not a big stature guy, so I'm only like 5'10", so they were like, yeah, that might fit your game better. And this is also at a time where like the game was also still in between, where it was a lot of enforcers, and like I was right at the end of it. Like I remember my line in the American League at one point, looking to my right and left, and I had Zach McIntyre and like Steve McIntyre and Zach Stortini, where I was like just kind of getting out there.
I remember Zach Stortini, man.
Yeah.
Tough son of a bitch, that guy. Wow, he really was.
Yeah, both of them were.
Yeah. McIntyre.
So played with some real tough players, and I remember just being out there and taking a face off and being like, I'm picking up gloves this shifts, and so it wasn't really hockey for me. And I was like, maybe it is better for me to go to Europe. And then now I've been in Europe for 7 years pro. I think I've been a bit everywhere: Slovakia, Austria. Played in Finland. I played in Denmark, and so now I'm in Germany. This is my 4th year in Germany, and I really like it. And I'm my 3rd year going back to the Ravensburg Tower Stars, and last year we won a championship there, so it was a really good year.
That's right. A championship season as well. One that I bet on because we were just in the process of getting Charlie, inviting him on the show. And he mentioned that we're in the playoffs now. We'll have to wait till after that before I join the show. And sure enough, I'm starting to get, my betting mind is starting to, operate. And I'm starting to say, okay, how good's your team? How good is this one of these teams you're going to play in the finals? And then he said, I think we've got the advantage. So I bet the team in the finals. And sure enough, Ravensburg, the Tower Stars ended up getting the job done, and I cashed a bet in the process. So it was great. So I want to make it seem like I was cheering for you, though. I truly was.
Yeah.
It wasn't all just about the money. I was cheering for you and the team as well. And I got asked too about how was the celebration? How long did the hangover last? All that good shit. How did that go?
Yeah, I mean, the celebrations were pretty intense, guys. German guys aren't shy to drink, so it was a lot of fun though. City
We'll
was
throw a couple Steins back. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of Weissens and stuff like that. So it was it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's a good feeling to win at any level or anywhere, right? So it was good. So we had a little parade in the city, and we had a couple of nights in a row where the guys got after it, and I think the hangover was a good. At my age, I mean, I know you said you were old, but 31, the hangovers are starting to get 2 to 3 days for sure now.
Yeah, no doubt. Talk about, actually, before we get into the NHL stuff, some of the players you like playing with the most. You threw out some names there earlier. I mean, Galchenyuk, Don Cherry always called him, by the way, at Delchukluk. That was one of the most hilarious butchering of names that Don had many of them. That was one of the funniest ones, calling him that. But some of the players we had Jordan Sambrook with us last week, and he's throwing out the Radish brothers, Taylor Radish, Dylan Strome. He's throwing out, talking about playing with Dylan Strome, talking about playing with a lot of really good players there. Anthony Cirelli, of course, Stanley Cup champion with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Who are the notables on your I've played with him list?
Oh, I've played with him list. I mean, I would say Galchenyuk and Yagapov are right up there. Bush is also up there. I mean, he's a hell of a player. It's more like who I've played against. Obviously, in the OHL, I've played against all the top players at my age time. It was like Duchesne, Tavares, like Subban, all those guys. So, Connor Murphy was on my team in Sarnia, and he's still in the league, and he's quite a player as well.
With Alex's Blackhawks,
yeah,
exactly, yeah. So other than that, nothing crazy in Europe. Most guys that come to Europe aren't that big of names, but still really good players. I got to give a shout out to my line mate that I've been with for 3 years, Sam Hare, he was the captain of Ontario Reign for 2 years there, and he's a hell of a player, and pumped to go back play with him next year again. But yeah, no real big names in my league right now. So
and I'm looking at the stats too for you, Charlie, here with Ravensburg here. You've been a point per game guy really in the last couple of years, just about this year in particular, 48 points, 46 games with them. So you feel that your game now, you're at a place, you're at a level, you're with a team, you're over in Europe on the size of the ice surface. All of that is coming together to put you in a spot where you feel you probably can be your most productive. Am I right?
Yeah, no, exactly. I've kind of like the first year, if people do look at my stats, they'll see there's a big transition. I think I did three teams in that first year. Was tough to get used to. I mean, just like I said, like just the new cultures and just getting used to how everything is done and the hockey as well. But and then I kind of settled into stuff and started putting up some numbers and Ravensburg, I feel like I've really kind of found my stride even at 31, where it's like I feel comfortable there. I'm used to the surroundings, and I hope I can keep succeeding in that league. It's kind of sad because the way that it works with our league, you have to put a bid in at the beginning of the year, which is I don't know. I know the number is north of $500,000 to buy your license to have a chance at going up to the DL, which is the first league. So this year we won, and we weren't one of the teams who had put their bid in to actually go up. So we
promotion, like Premier League type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It works like that. So there's a team coming down and a team going up. And this year we could have been the team going up if it had known we'd been this good. But to be honest, after our preseason, I think we went 1-6. I didn't even think we were going to make the playoffs. So I was like, damn, we're in for one this year. And so it's a little sad that we didn't get to put our foot in and move up to the first league and see what we could do, what kind of damage we could do. There's some big names in that league for sure, and a lot of good players come out of that league. And a lot of top German guys like Seider and all those guys will have usually played in the DL, So it would have been interesting to go there. But who knows? Maybe we buy I know it's been in the talks that Ravensburg will buy their license soon and we can go up. Last year we had Frankfurt go up, the team we actually lost in finals, and they kind of finished middle of the pack and did pretty well. So it was cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of like that about the European way of going about a soccer and the hockey leagues too, that there's first league, second league, third league. There's some years where I think, gosh, can't this really, really good AHL team knock out one of these NHL teams and send them down?
Cool to see.
Can't that happen? Can't that happen to an Anaheim Ducks? No offense to
I think it'd be cool to see. It would be cool to see the AHL and the ECHL operate like that, because you have these great ECHL markets like Florida and Toledo that could easily outdraw some AHL teams now. So if they were the ones to swap and get the AHL affiliate, they still would work with the same NHL affiliates, but just flip flop which league they're in. I think that would be kind of a cool concept.
Yeah,
that would be very cool. Yeah,
and it could work.
And Charlie, I want to ask you too. You played in Utah for a couple of years, and there's all this talk now about Arizona, the Coyotes staying there. Are they going to Houston? Are they going elsewhere? What do you think about Salt Lake City potentially being a landing spot for NHL franchise?
Like as a city, Utah, I honestly love it. It's beautiful, and it's really, there's nothing to complain about there. As a hockey market, our rink was not that packed. We did have a very big rink for an East Coast team. We had the stadium they use for the Olympics and stuff. So but I don't know, maybe they would buy into that and there would be a better market than, the other places they're offering, but it's they got a basketball team. So I know Americans are really into that stuff. So, but I mean, I feel like it can't get much worse at this point, wherever they decide to go. So it's
right.
Just switch it up. Would be nice to see.
It's that's of course Utah, Houston. There are a bunch. Houston, Utah, Kansas City. I mean, in terms of destinations where a certain Arizona Coyotes franchise may move, if indeed long term they're not there. There are a bunch of cities that are in the mix. Charlie, let's get your thoughts on the playoffs. Let's more talk about the teams that are still in existence. I mean, we'll be here all day if we talk Boston and what went wrong with them and Toronto. And to be honest with you, I'm fucking sick and tired of talking Toronto at this point. I'm sick of it. I mean, we've talked and I've ranted and raved and ripped the Leafs enough. It's time to move on to let's talk teams that are still alive, that still have a fucking chance to win the Stanley Cup. Let's talk Florida, the team that is going to be in the Stanley Cup final from the East. What do you make, Charlie, of that team? What a run they've been on.
Yeah, no, that team showed nothing but character this whole time. I mean, there's no hiding that Bobrovsky is absolutely on fire right now, and he's keeping those guys in every game. So whichever team does make it through between Dallas and Vegas are going to have to find a way to get in that guy's kitchen to get anything going, because if he does stay that hot, it could be trouble. But I do feel like Vegas does have a team that could be, big net front presence and keep it kind of the game simple, get a lot of shots. But Dallas has been surprising me all playoffs. The fact that they, won the last two and now they're going back at home is also showing a lot of character. So it's tough. And also for Florida, taking this kind of big break it can be like a double-edged sword sometimes. It's me being in playoffs this year. Sometimes you're like, you want to sweep a team, but at the same time, you're like, I don't know if I want this much time off from actual, being game ready and being in game mode. It does affect you a little where you suddenly play a team that just came off a big win and they're just full of adrenaline and, still pumped from the last game. And you're like, kind of have to find your mojo. And so it'll be interesting to see. But Florida, I mean, they got some guys taking up some big roles right now that you probably wouldn't have expected. And then, like I said, they got guys like Montour back there who are playing above their heads, and then
best year of his career. I think Montour is capable of this consistently, Charlie. Like a breakout year, but I don't think he's playing over his head. I think he's just realizing how good he could be. I'll tell you the freaking guys that are playing over their head. Gudas and Mahura and some of these depth defensemen. I've never seen them play this good. They've been, Gudas in particular, he's not a fast skater. He is very lumbering in terms of his skating stride. He's obviously had penalty issues in the past. Very physical, can be positionally sound, but he's made some gaffes defensively, many this year and in the past. And I'm seeing him play like I've never seen before. Like he's putting his head down and negated a partial breakaway on after coughing up the puck in the neutral zone in one of the games against Carolina. You got Mark Stahl, like he's drank from the fountain of youth here for Florida. What they're getting out of him is incredible. Even Eric Stahl as well on this team. He's played well in that fourth line role. Matthew Tkachuk and Bobrovsky are battling for the Conn Smythe at this point. One of them is going to get it. They've been sensational, but Barkov's been a shut down defensive center in these playoffs, shut down Matthews, shut down Aho and Natchez in the last round. That's what you want out of your number one center. His offense wasn't there in the first two rounds, but he finally started finding the back of the net against Carolina. The depth forwards, Ryan Lomberg and your cool Mint Lustarinens, and all these guys are chipping in. Lindell. Nick Cousins scored a big goal for them, of course, in one of the games. I mean, they're just getting contributions everywhere right now, this Florida Panthers team, and that's why they are a dangerous team. And speaking of Florida, it's a segue because I want to mention that earlier today we did a Patreon exclusive. We'll post it probably later this afternoon with Brett Pepler, who is right there on the scene in Florida. That's where he lives now. And he's gone to a bunch of Panthers games, and he had great insight on not only the team, but the atmosphere and what it's doing for hockey in Florida in terms of registrations for young kids and all that. Because he said some surprising shit that it's really making a difference, this run for the Florida Panthers down there to the Stanley Cup Finals. So that's a great interview we did with Brett. And we will post that on the Patreon page for our members later today. Good stuff. Charlie will be back in just a second to do Vegas, Dallas. We'll talk Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. It's coming up tonight. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll talk Golden Knights Stars, a huge Game 6 in the Western Conference Finals in just a moment, right after we hear from Gramco.
Support for the Ice Guys is brought to you by Gramco. Whether you or your team's game is on the field, screen, racetrack, court, or the ice, Gramco is for the game. Grown by farmers who spent years developing premium hemp genetics, Gramco provides customers with consistent quality Delta 8 THC products ready for any occasion. Gramco currently offers numerous Delta 8 products, including vape cartridges, disposable vapes, pre-rolls, gummies, wake and bake coffee, and more. Gramco offers an enjoyable, legal high delivered discreetly and directly to you. Gramco is also available at many American retailers as well. You can get the best Delta 8 cannabis products on the market shipped quickly and discreetly from Gramco. And if you visit www.thegramco.com, use promo code ICEGUYS, you will get 20% off of every order, and any order that's on the site over $50 will be shipped free with standard shipping. So live elevated with Gramco and check out their wonderful Delta 8 products today.
All right, it is time to talk Game 6, Western Conference Finals. It is Vegas and Dallas. The Stars minus 130, home favorites, 5.5 being the total here in Game 6. Somehow, some way, Alex and I have some serious life now at the very least with Dallas to win the Western Conference. Let's be real. We're not going to hide from it. We thought it was over after Game 3 of this series, and yet here we are now, Game 4 and Game 5, and now it's very much on the table that Dallas can actually do this thing and come back and win this series. Look at what the Boston Celtics are attempting to do in the NBA right now, down 3-0 to the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they're playing Game 7 of their series tonight with a chance to make history and come back from 3-0 down. Dallas has a very real chance, and they get, of course, their, albeit bonehead, captain, Jamie Benn, back from his 2-game suspension here for this game. I was not at all thrilled with what he did, of course, in that game. Selfish act, and then no remorse or accountability after for doing what he did. Just saying I was a landing spot for me. That's all it was on Mark Stone. I've like I said, Charlie, I've never seen a landing spot that includes driving a stick in the guy's head. I've never seen that as a landing spot known to man in my fucking life. It's just a joke of an excuse that he used to justify something that's unjustifiable. But nevertheless, he served his time, out for 2 games, and he's back tonight. What I want to see, and Jamie Benn is probably going to have a hell of a game tonight. He's probably worth a look for a goal prop tonight, honestly, and some, because he feels like shit. And I'll say that. I know deep down inside it's not what he wanted. It's just he snapped in that moment and did that to Mark Stone. And he just lost his shit for just that second. There's instances, Charlie, right? I'll ask you. There's instances where someone is just, you're under your skin. They had given up a goal, right? They were down 1-0. He sees Mark Stone, their captain, and they got tangled up there. And maybe he said, I don't know if he said anything, but either way, they're tangled up there. And he just drives the stick into his head area. It was just a lapse of judgment in a moment's instance where the team's pissing you off. You want to beat them. It's their captain. Maybe he's getting under your skin for various reasons on the ice, and you just lose it. You just lose your mind just for that split second. You do something like that, and you're suspended for 2 games. I've seen many players do that in many different leagues, and I'm sure you've seen it before too.
Yeah, I mean it's super easy to lose your cool out there. I watched the play and you see Mark Stone on the back check kind of just come. It's like it's not like super late, but it's like, just like he could have just skated away, but he rubs him off as anyone would. If you're in that situation, you're hoping that a guy like Jamie Benn has that kind of reaction, because then you're in his head, and he hits him and then falls over, and then the cross checking happens, and yeah, you can see that Ben is just pissed off, and whatever had just happened, they had just given up a goal, and or maybe the coaches, there's so many factors out there. Maybe the coach is saying like, hey, that was your guy, you got to pick him up. And then you're getting out there and you're thinking about that, and all you're seeing is black. And the first guy that touches you just take it out on him. So, I mean, I've done it before. I did it in these playoffs this year. Everyone loses their cool at some point. There's no one that's perfect out there.
No, that was just a bad moment for him. But he's going to have a chance now. They've bailed him out by winning the last 2 games, that he's going to have a chance to get back on the ice. Could you imagine if they had not won Game 4 and Game 5, and his last moment on the ice with his team as the captain is that just brutal decision to do that shit to Mark Stone? That would be awful. That would be a tough way to see your season end and your last moment on the ice. But they bailed him out. They won the last 2 games. He's back tonight. He'll probably have a hell of a game, as long as he plays between the whistles, which sometimes he doesn't. He does take that odd undisciplined penalty every now and then, but he's physical. I like so much of his game, though, when he's got his head on straight. When he's playing whistle to whistle, throwing the body around, he'll drop the gloves every now and then. I like, he can score big goals for them, physical presence, all of that, but he's got to do it in between the whistles. And I'm sure he knows he let his team down. He never admitted it, which still disappoints me. He didn't say, oh, I'm sorry for what I did, and fucking let my team down. I got to be better than that. I will be better next time. Didn't say any of that. Just lame excuses. That's it. He didn't handle it well. But the way he can handle it now is go on the ice and fucking play a hell of a game tonight. That's how you handle it, and lead by example. Because I think Joe Pavelski's been captain 1B on this team, because I think he's just as much a captain figure for the Dallas Stars, if not more than Jamie Benn. Pavelski and Hintz and Jason Robertson, who is finally red hot again, found his offense. It's been pretty much scoring every game in this series. So certainly for Dallas, Ben props tonight, Robertson props. I mean, because they're Pavelski, those have to be the top 3 tonight, in my opinion. Robertson, Ben, and Pavelski. Robertson's red hot. Pavelski just scores big goals in big games. That's all he does. He's done it his whole career. It wouldn't surprise me to see him have an impact tonight. Robertson can't miss right now after not being able to put the puck in the ocean, in the first 2 rounds. Now all of a sudden he can't miss for the Dallas Stars. And Jamie Benn, because I think he's going to play like his hair is on fire here tonight after being suspended the last 2 games for the Dallas Stars. With Wyatt Johnston, a little sprinkle on his props too, because he's always a threat and he's always undervalued with his goal prop, plus 300 again in that range. And even the point prop is a plus price for him as well. So lots to like there as far as props go. This is going to be more of a prop game for me than sides and totals. As far as the full game, I'm not really in love with the pregame over. I kind of lean third period over an elimination game, but that's about it because Vegas is talking about tightening up. Bruce Cassidy ripped their defensive play last game, saying too many high danger chances. Gary Lawless wrote a great column, covers the Vegas Golden Knights. He said in the first 3 games of the series that Vegas won, the average of high danger chances they allowed, 6 per game. Do you know how many they allowed in game 5? 15. Plus 9 more high danger chances allowed to the Dallas Stars in game 5. Well, that explains why Vegas didn't play as well defensively. You're giving up the inside part of the ice, and Bruce Cassidy said it. We didn't do a good enough job ourselves getting to the inside part of the ice, and that was the big issue for them in game 5. Aiden Hill has to be the guy. I know that goal that ended up being the game winner from Delandria was one he'd like to have back, but he made some incredible saves before that. Let's not forget that. Made some fucking amazing saves early in the third. That's a weak goal he gave up, but it also ticked off the stick of Pietrangelo. The puck hit at Pietrangelo's stick and kind of just slightly changed direction. So even then, I'm willing to cut him some slack, Aiden Hill, and because of the way he's played in this series. So back to him. Ottinger was great the last game. It's always dangerous that Vegas has allowed Dallas back into the series when you've got a great goalie on the other side like him, Jake Ottinger, who is starting to really get his game back together again in these last couple games. So I'm going to sprinkle on the draw again here tonight with Vegas Dallas. Another draw bet. Again, we've seen of the 6 games, 3 of them, or the 5 games, 3 of them go to overtime here in this series. So I like the draw. I like those props on Dallas players that I mentioned, Ben, Johnston, and specifically Robertson, Pavelski, and Ben are my 3 favorites. And then on the Vegas side, look, my best bet was Jonathan Marchessault to get a point. Why would I stop betting that at this point? It's just been automatic what he's been able to do for the Vegas Golden Knights. He's really been their best and most productive forward since the midway part of the Edmonton Oilers series in the second round. And he's only minus 132 at FanDuel to get a point tonight. So I'm on that again. It's another great price. It's another bet that just keeps on cashing. The guy's got 11 points in the last 7 playoff games. 11 points in the last 7 playoff games. He's minus 132 to get a point tonight. It's another steal of a price, in my opinion, considering the production that Johnny Marchessault is giving the Vegas Golden Knights, or as Jerry calls him, John Masserole. You know, he is absolutely on a great run right now for Vegas. So those are my favorite props. I'll get to more in a bit, but I want to let Charlie and Alex have at it. Alex, we'll start with you. Game 6, Vegas Dallas.
Yeah, I'm just kind of taking the same approach I did with the last game. Going to look for that first period over in game. So anything plus $1.10 or better is what I'm shooting for, because right now you could lay $1.10, lay $1.15 with that. And I think we see some scoring early, and then we see it kind of maybe crater in the second period and maybe pick back up in the third. So that it's kind of tough. Like I said, yeah, as far as the full game total, I don't really want anything to do with the 5.5 just yet. I want to try to attack the first period and go from there. Jamie Benn scored a point. I saw minus $1.15 earlier with that. I would lay that up to $1.25. I would go with that before a goal. I think he will be involved in some fashion. Like I say, he definitely wants to make up for the transgressions during the series. That'd be a way to do it, by getting on the score sheet. So even if he just gets an assist, that would be helping out in a big way. So those are the 2 things I like in this game.
It looks like Michael Amadio, who I'll let Charlie know this. Michael Amadio is one of these players for the Vegas Golden Knights. Like, he just all of a sudden got an opportunity in the top 6 forward group. And when we bet player props in the NHL, we always say, take the guys that are going up the lineup to the second line or the top line, because now they're playing with better players. Now they're going to have more ice time, more opportunity to score goals and make an impact. And it's not reflected in the price with their player props with each sports book and the betting markets. You're going to be able to get a bargain. And here's Amadio now. It looks like he's going to be on the second line. He got back into the lineup the last game for Vegas. He's plus 500, to score a goal tonight. That's worth a couple bucks putting it on Amadio here, as far as I'm concerned, because he's going to play on the second line for Vegas tonight with Riley Smith and William Karlsson. Still Eichel, Marchessault, and Barbashev on the top line. That'll remain the same. I think Barbashev point prop is worth a look. He's had a great series as far as producing is concerned. 2 goals, but more importantly, he's had 5 points in the 5 games in this series. Ivan Barbashev, close shave Barbashev for the Vegas Golden Knights. And to get a point, plus 115 he is to get a point tonight at BetMGM. So it's a great, great value price there, Barbashev, to get a point. He's got 5 in this series. It's only plus 115 for him to get a point tonight. Charlie, what do you think here? Game 6, is Vegas going to end it tonight, or does Dallas force a Game 7? What do you think?
Oh, damn. That's $1 million question right there.
It's pretty challenging for us to answer that too, and we're the fucking professionals here, handicappers.
Yeah,
and players.
They're going into Dallas after winning, the last 2, which is obviously crazy. If they were to, if Vegas doesn't put it away tonight, they are in trouble. That's all I'm going to say. So I can kind of tell you the attitude that Vegas is going. They always say like a wounded dog is the most dangerous dog, because it's someone who's kind of just playing with. Dallas has almost nothing to lose. They're just playing, and you can tell in their game, they're just playing they're putting everything out there. While you can see that Vegas's game, like you said, it shows even in the stats where the scoring chances, and I know their coach was saying like our team's at our best when our team's at our best when our goalie doesn't need to make big saves, because we just keep them to the outside and we don't give them much. And you can see in the last games Vegas has kind of gotten away from that, and like you said, the scoring chances have doubled. So unless they tighten that up, which I'm sure they will, to me, I don't see it being a very high scoring game. I think Vegas is going to do crazy amount of video until the game is there, and they're gonna look into what they really need to correct and what they need to work on. I'm gonna say Dallas because they're at home, and because Jamie Benn is back, and like you said, I think he's due for a hell of a game after what he did. And knowing Jamie Benn's character and the player he can be, or the impact player he can be, I like I said, if I was a betting man, I would definitely be putting my money on him. He needs to show something, and after the team keeping him in the last 2 games, winning that for him, I think he needs to put up a hell of a game just to show Dallas that he's the real deal. So I'm gonna say Dallas tonight. And
Dallas Stars. There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dallas. But going into Vegas, coming back from it, oh man, that's tough. You're going to play away after that. That's going to be a whole new conversation for you guys. But they just come back from 3 games, so you got to think momentum-wise, it's crazy at that point.
There's an argument, though. Does Ben, it's crazy to say this, right? He's the captain. We know he's a good player. When he's on his game, he's a great player. He helps them. They're better with Jamie Benn when he's on his game and not doing stupid shit like he did in Game 3. But there's that argument where they've actually won 2 games without him. Now he's coming back. Does he upset the apple cart? Does he throw off chemistry? Does he throw off rhythm that's developed here with the Dallas Stars? I guess we'll find out tonight. And that combined with the fact, I think Vegas is thoroughly desperate. Their desperation levels going up, because you're right. I don't think their desperation levels nearly been at Dallas's level the last 2 games, just because they haven't been. When they finished off Edmonton and they sent McDavid and Draisaitl, arguably the 2 best players in the world right now, packing. They did it by shutting off the middle of the ice, shutting off the loose pucks in front of their goaltender. They didn't let Edmonton get the second and third chances at those loose pucks in front of the net. They didn't. They shut it off with just tenacious, tight defensive coverage, the likes of which we did not see from Vegas in Game 5 that they lost the other night. I think now that's the little wake-up call now that they've lost 2 in a row. Dallas has kind of got their foot back into the series now in the door, that now is the night you're going to see Vegas step up their defensive game. Be harder in that front of the net, win those puck battles, make sure they don't get those second chances. And that's why Dallas, for as well as they played the last 2 games, they're probably going to have to play even better tonight if they're going to extend the series, because I think Vegas will come back with a very strong effort here tonight in Game 6 and a little more urgency to close out the series. By the way, with the Ben props, I'm probably going to go with all three of them here. As far as the point prop is minus 116 at FanDuel for Jamie Benn. The goal prop, look, plus 290 at FanDuel for Jamie Benn to score a goal tonight, which is a great price. And the assist prop is plus 164. So you could do, I think you could go 2-1 with those potentially. And even if you hit the goal prop, you're going to be profitable. Plus 290. You go 1 and 2, but the only bet that hits with Jamie Benn's props is the goal prop at plus 290. You're going to make money with those 3 bets. So definitely, I think it just fits that he is going to be just a bull in a china shop tonight. He's going to want to make an impact in the worst way. He knows he owes this team for his dumbass mistake. And that's what it was in game 3. And I think he's definitely going to go above and beyond as the captain. This is, you'd like to think that's the kind of effort you're going to get from Jamie Benn here tonight in this game. No lineup changes really for Dallas either. They've got a winning lineup other than Ben coming in. The question is who's going to go out for them tonight, and that's the $1 million question. Sean McDonough said during the game on Saturday night that Ty Dellandrea, believe it or not, might have been a candidate prior to Game 5 to come out of the lineup in favor of Jamie Benn, but he just scored 2 goals in Game 5, so that ain't happening now. There's absolutely no way Ty Dellandrea is coming out of the lineup now after he scored the 2 goals that gave them the win in Game 5. So who is it going to end up being? It probably is going to be Freddie Olofsson, and it's starting to look like that's who it's going to be. Frederick Olofsson is the guy that's going to end up scratched in favor of Jamie Benn's return tonight. So that's the current lineup that I see at RotoWire. So looks like Olofsson's going to be the guy that ends up coming out of the lineup tonight for the Dallas Stars. It's going to be a great game. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. Definitely look. And by the way, if there's a Game 7, we will have a betcast on Wednesday night. So make sure you join us for a live betcast Wednesday night for Game 7. If there is one, we will have one. So we're looking forward to that. Always fun. But again, we'll wait and see first what transpires tonight in Game 6 with the Golden Knights and the Stars. Great stuff with Alex P. Smith and our guest, Charlie Sauro. We'll be back to wrap up the show. Reminder, patreon.com/Ice Guys. Just $10 a month. Goalie charts, totals charts, power ratings, daily Ice Guys show betting card, and tons of Patreon exclusive content, including the interview I did earlier today with Brett Pepler. We'll get that posted on the site. Great stuff about the Florida Panthers run. Make sure you check that out and more. Patreon.com/Ice Guys. Just $10 a month.
Also, check out the Ice Guys store, iceguys.myspreadshop.com. We've got caps, we got T-shirts, we've got hoodies, we got stuff for the summer. We got everything you need. So check it out, the Ice Guys store. That's iceguys.myspreadshop.com.
All right, best bets and wrapping up the show in just a moment, right after we hear from Manscaped. Support for the Ice Guys is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the promo code ICEGUYS. That's promo code ICEGUYS at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, it's about 14 million balls that you can preserve. The Performance Package 4.0 is the complete accessory package to take care of everything that is required. You've got, of course, the Lawnmower 4.0. Takes care of your facial hair and among other things. You've got, of course, the Weed Whacker. I'm approaching 40. Nose hair has become a major issue. It pisses the hell out of me. I need to take care of that shit, and the Weed Whacker can help you do that. Both of these products, waterproof and a 4000K LED spotlight for a more precise shave. And you'll also be able to take care of those delicate areas with the ball toner, with the ball deodorant, keep you smelling good, looking good, and feeling good down in the nether regions. This complete Performance Package 4.0 will take care of everything for you, for all you guys out there, and it's courtesy of our good friends at manscaped.com. So get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code ICEGUYS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. And use promo code ICEGUYS. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. All right, it's a huge Game 6. It's best bet time. Alex, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, Jamie Benn's got to make up for the shit he did in Game 3, and getting on the score sheet would be a huge way to do that. So taking a shot, laying it with Jamie Benn to get a point minus $1.15. That's going to be my best bet here for Game 6.
All right, and a good price with that as well. Jamie Benn point minus 115 for tonight for Game 6. Best bet for Alex B. Smith. Charlie Soro, great stuff. Awesome. Great to have you on the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had fun. And what do you best bet for you if you had one? What would it be tonight, Game 6?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with Alex on this one. I'm going to go. I'd say Jamie Benn needs to prove something to his team and why he's wearing the C. And I like I said, I like Dallas because why not, right? I'd love to see a Game 7 from that kind of comeback. So I'd go with those two for sure.
All right, good stuff indeed. Liking the Jamie, and you know what? To what Alex said and what you just said, liking Jamie Benn point prop. I think Dallas props are an even better bet tonight than Dallas money line. Quite honestly, I mean, I think it's better to dabble in a few props than the minus 130 here in this game. That way, if Jamie Benn scores and gets a point, Pavelski scores or gets a point, Robertson, same thing. You could cash those bets even if they lose the game, which still could happen. So I think it's even better to maybe look at some of those props. And as far as shots on goal props, I'll have some builders. I don't like betting straight, shots on goal props at this stage of the playoffs, but you can put, a bunch of stars because they're the team that's facing elimination again. And I like Aiden Hill saves over again. Should have mentioned that. 100% I'm back on that prop again. Aiden Hill over saves is cash now twice in a row that I've bet it. Game 4 and Game 5. So I am back on Aiden Hill over saves tonight in this game. And it's 29.5. They've adjusted it up a little bit, but still over 29.5 saves for Aiden Hill because I think Dallas will be shooting the puck quite a bit, just like they did in Game 4 and in Game 5. So definitely liking that. As far as best bet for me here tonight, it's a tough call. That Ben call's a really good one. Certainly Pavelski to get a goal is tempting to me. I'm just thinking which one I prefer. I'm going to take a shot with Pavelski to get a goal at plus 194 at FanDuel. He is just the guy that I find is the guy that finds a way to make an impact in these big games, team facing elimination. He's a big time playoff performer. So I'm going to go with that. I cashed the player prop best bet on Saturday with Marchessault to get a point, which I like again tonight, by the way, but I'll diversify things a bit tonight and we'll go with Joe Pavelski plus 194. Anytime goal scorer tonight for the Dallas Stars for my best bet. Great stuff and a great show. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. Charlie, just some final words from you before we say goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me, guys. I completely forgot to mention when you were asking about names of guys I played with. I was thinking only OHL, but Shea Theodore, Montour, all those guys, William Karlsson, are all guys I played with.
There you go.
So kind of don't want those guys to ever see the show. I'm like, man, he played with me and I'm playing in the playoffs right now.
And then you picked Dallas tonight. Yeah.
And I picked Dallas.
A couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they might not be happy about that, but who doesn't want to see a Game 7, right? So.
Well, if they see the show, it won't be because I send the link to them or anything like that.
Okay, it's perfect.
There you go. Yeah, they'd have to stumble upon it themselves, and we're going to take the chance they don't. At the end of the day. But great stuff, Charlie. Charlie Soro, follow him on Twitter, by the way, at Soro12. He'll be playing overseas once again this fall, and then hopefully another championship season on the way. That would be great. That's certainly the plan, right?
That would be awesome, yeah.
No doubt. Nothing better than winning a championship for sure. Great stuff. No show tomorrow. Obviously, no game. We'll be back on Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, for another edition of the Ice Guys. Very potentially, Jared Allen is going to be joining us on the show Wednesday, and he played with the LA Kings way back in the day, early 2000s. He's doing a lot of off-ice post-retirement stuff now, so he's likely on the show on Wednesday. We will have a show Wednesday because that's already scheduled, so we will have that show Wednesday regardless of whether there's a Game 7 with Vegas, Dallas. If there's no Game 7, we'll just talk Stanley Cup Final. And start to get ready for that on Wednesday's show at 2 p.m. Eastern. So great stuff. Hit the like button. Betcast schedule to be announced. We're waiting to see how this game goes tonight before we confirm that. So thanks to everyone for joining us. A reminder, the Ice Guys is live Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, noon Eastern. If you can't watch the show live, download the Ice Guys podcast in audio form on all major podcast platforms. For Alex B. Smith, For our special guest, Charlie Sauro, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday. Enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day, and we will talk to you on Wednesday for another edition of the Ice Guys presented by National Hockey Now.